Hello, this is Vicki, Condé Systems Technical Support Department, here today to talk about the Epson series printer, particularly the 9700 and the 7700 sublimation printers that you purchase here at Condé. Today we're going to talk about the refill kit that you get at Condé. These are some of the products that come inside the box. We have here the refillable cartridges. This is the resetter for the cartridge. This is the resetter for the maintenance tank, so you get two resetters. Make sure you know which is which. These are some napkins or paper towels we're going to use in a little bit. That doesn't come, but you'll need them. This is our funnels, and you get one for each cartridge. We have, these are considered in the instructions like tubes, but actually they're like straws. So you have one for each cartridge. Gloves to keep ink off. And this is like a little frame that you're going to set your cartridges down into, which is going to stand them upright so that you can fill them. And these are extra chips, and we'll talk about the extra chips here in just a little bit. Your instructions, which will go over the things that I'm going to show you. And this is your little resetter instruction, so got a couple of instructions. This right here is your priming utensil, or syringe, should we say, little tube, and a needle on the end, and that's for priming the cartridges, and I'll demonstrate that as well. And so once you have everything filled up, I'll show you little techniques for preparing your cartridges to put into your printer, and we'll go from there. This is our refill cartridge, and typically I like to reset the chip first. So every cartridge has a chip, and the chip holds a counter on it, and it tells the printer when the cartridge is near empty. It doesn't know it by weight, but it knows it by cycles. So your cartridge may be partially full or look like it's not near empty, but if the chip says it's near empty, which it will eventually, you'll have to reset it. Now these are really important to reset before they go empty, and the reason why is that it will kill the chip in the printer if you do not reset it before it's 25% empty. So you have 100%, so you want to reset it before it's 25% near empty. And that goes for your maintenance tank as well. So you probably want to reset them at the same time. This is your chip, and this is what we're going to reset. There's a contact on here, and we're going to, I'm going to show you how to line the chip resetter up and what to look for and how to reset it, and when it's reset you'll know by the green light on the back, and I'll demonstrate that as well. Okay, so here's our cartridge, and before I do a fill, I usually like to do the reset first, and so the reason we reset it is to clear the counter. So this is how it works. Chip resetter, piece of plastic, so it's got a little grip here. These are your pins. They're spring loaded. You push them down, they should spring back out. Okay. These are your stops. Got 3 of them. That's how you line it up on the cartridge. It helps you to line it up. There's still some play, so it takes 2 or 3 times sometimes to get it right. So what we're going for is to line these 7 pins up onto the contacts, gold, and resetting the chip. And resetting means that, I'm turning around where you sit, there's a light flashing, one light. This light can go red or green. Now what you're going for is a solid green. And to do that, you gotta line it up using your little guides and hold it over the chip. There it went. These are the gloves. You're going to put those on. I'm not going to put them on, but you're going to be dealing with ink, so you people who are dealing with ink will want to put these on. I'm going to substitute ink today for some cleaning fluid to demonstrate in this video. So I'm not going to wear them, but you may want to. You're going to get your cartridge. This is the yellow cartridge for, so make sure that you pay attention to the color codes, and you would get your yellow ink bottle to fill this. Now this is a stand, and the stand of course is to hold the cartridge upright, and you want to face the filling in towards you, and you're going to pull off this little rubber stopper. Set it to the side. Make sure you do not lose it, because you're going to need it again. And now you want to assemble your funnel, okay? So you're going to need your funnel, and you're going to need one of your straws. And again, you should have 5 of each because you have 5 refillable cartridges. And I'm going to pull one of the straws off and assemble the funnel down into the straw as best you can. Push it up, make sure it's got a pretty good seal on it because you're going to be dealing with ink. Have your napkins here for or spill, and you got extra ones for whatever purposes you need. Okay, now inside this cartridge is what we call a bladder, and that's just a plastic bag, and it's an airtight plastic bag. So you want to take your straw with the tip here. You see the little D-ring here, and that's the side you're going to fill. And you're going to push this straw very gently down into this bladder because you don't want to puncture the bladder. And you want to go down as far as you can, because we don't want to. Basically, when you start filling this, it's going to cause splatter and bubbles, and we want to kind of fill from the bottom up. So fill from the bottom up because you don't want a lot of air. Air is evil to these printers, so you want to keep all the air out as possible. And I'm going to use this cleaning solution, Epson cleaning solution, and it's bright pink so you can see it really well, but typically this is a yellow cartridge, you would have yellow ink. So, and then you're just going to start filling this cartridge. And my straw is far enough down that you can see I'm not really causing much air. And also you could probably, when you're done, let it sit and let the air bubbles adjust out, but I'll show you a procedure for helping with air bubbles. So once you get the cartridge near full, or full, and be careful at the end because you don't want to overfill your funnel or you're overflowing it. And that's pretty good. See, I got a few air bubbles in there. I'm just going to kind of squeeze the sides of the, I'm going to remove my funnel, set it to the side over here on my towel, and just kind of squeeze the bag, and sometimes that'll help reduce bubbles. Also, just walking away and letting it sit for a little while before you put the top on. That'll also get rid of some of the bubbles. And put my lid back on and push this to the side. Now, what I'm ready to do is I want to get all the air out of the bag that I possibly can. So I'm going to squeeze the sides of the cartridge, and when I kind of get the fluid up to the top, I'm going to put this cap back on. So what that's going to do is get all the air as possible out of the cartridge. And I'm going to put this cap back on. Okay? And now my cap's back on. So that's a filled cartridge. And if I were refilling this, for a second time, this being the first time I filled it, but if this was a second time I was filling it, I would be resetting the chip. And I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But we don't have to reset the chip on a fill. So if this was a refill, we would reset the chip so that we could zero out the counter. Now I'm just going to kind of turn this to the side, and I'm done pretty much with this, but I'm going to leave it here so I can demonstrate how to prime the cartridge. So I'm going to turn it this way. Now this is your chip, so it sits here, and you have replacement chips as well, and I will talk about that in just a little bit. This is a valve here, spring-loaded valve. You see through cartridge, you could see the spring inside. Now what you're going to do there is that's where you're going to prime, okay? And it has a little rubber booty around the end of the valve so that it's got a nice seal when you probe it with this needle. So this being your priming utensil or syringe or tool, however you want to say it. And just to demonstrate in front of the camera, but as best I can, you're going to have to push this in here. That spring's going to push back, and you can't release it because it'll push back out. So you got to hold it in there and maneuver your syringe so that you can pull the fluid. And that's what we call priming. When we get all the air, the purpose of priming is to get air out of the bag. Okay, so we want a nice smooth stream where we see no bubbles going in through the tube, and then we know we have a nice prime. And not only that, it initiates the cartridge to pull ink. So we're just kind of getting it started. That's what we're doing. And now that we're done, got a nice stream, I'm going to pull the needle out, and I'm ready to put my cartridge into the printer. Okay, so we've demonstrated how to reset your cartridges on a refill with your 7700 Epson and your 9700 Epson, and we also demonstrated how to do the fill on the cartridge using the bladder and the straw with the funnel, and then we had the priming unit, so the priming tool. We also showed you how to do the prime. So these here, doing the reset, are extra chips for those of you out there that maybe forget or have a bad chip or don't reset your chip in time. Again, it's really important, and I stress extremely important to reset your chip before it goes empty, because it will kill the chip and you'll be replacing these a lot. So we have extras, and they are coded, so it does matter which cartridge that you put the chip on, so pay attention to that. We can help you with that. You can call us here at Tech Support, and anyone in my department should be able to help with resetting, refilling, and priming these cartridges. My name is Vicki, Condi Systems Tech Support. Thank you for your time.